God, machine is going as off topic as possible. Do you agree with the average AI researcher that AGI or artificial general intelligence will arrive before 2050? How does this interact with all of that? I think that so background. Technological unemployment is still hotly debated, but the left side of economics, the one that I tend to fall towards, generally argues that technology can in fact cause unemployment. Because unlike the neoclassical school, we don't assume that people are these like, this is an oversimplification. This is too mean to the neoclassicals, but the left side of economics tends to assume that humans are really chunky. They have a lot of details, a lot of variables to them, and they aren't these like frictionless spheres that you can just interchange easily. You can't just slot one human out and slot another in. And so that means that when technology displaces jobs, it can cause really major unemployment. So AGI, I don't know about 2050. This is way beyond the current topic. There was a really, really nice, I think I posted about this. One second. From Stockton Left. There was I found it. One of the things that people, I think, tend to do is take current trends and extend them out. And that's understandable. But you can't do that with intelligence. You can't just say that because we've been building models that are this much larger, and therefore, as a result, that much more intelligent. You can't do that with human knowledge because we are running up against the limits of human knowledge. This graph shows, here, I'll show it on the left one. This is what they call low quality language data. So that means shit like tweets. That means shit like random texts, right? Just any kind of text data. We have, so this chart argues, something like, what is this, 10 to the 15? Just an enormous amount. That's what, like a trillion. We have that much low quality language data. And right now, our models are currently getting up to that. They'll hit that in like 2030 or so, 2040. So when we hit that, it's going to be hard to be like, hey, let's just do a bigger model. Because right now, our solution to the hard problems of how do you design an X intelligence to do Y has been, what if we just train it on a bigger data set? That's the honest to God answer of what we've been doing. That's why large language models have worked so well. We've just naively thrown them even bigger data sets. And we are literally going to hit up against the limits of human knowledge. We will not have enough written text. We will not have enough photographs, enough video to train them smarter. So one of the things that I talked about in this thread is that I actually think that there's a very neat synthesis between artificial intelligence and socialism. If you think that artificial intelligence is a net good thing, that like, yeah, there will be technological unemployment, but in the long run, it will allow us to do a huge amount of things that we could not have done otherwise. Jobs that could not have been automated, we can automate now. The answer is that you need more knowledge. You quite literally need to like produce to extend that barrier as fast as possible. How do you do that? Educate as many people as possible and get them pumping out knowledge. Get them writing scientific papers, get them writing blog posts, get them talking to each other, get them photographing things. Like, I'm not even joking here. If the limit is intelligence, then you need to make the world as intelligent as possible, as quick as possible. Educate the entire fucking world. Give the whole world a high school education, give the whole world a college degree. How are you going to do that without massive redistribution? Like, I don't think that you can. I do not think that this is something that capitalism can handle. And so the honest answer is that if you want artificial intelligence as soon as possible, you probably want to move to the left. You need a great mass of intelligent people churning out content because you can't just create intelligence from the void. AGI is training on AGI as much as possible is a model that tries to fit an input to the entire corpus, the entire body of human knowledge. Wouldn't the potential for AGI create a market incentive for human knowledge? No, this is one of the classic examples that just because a good could have value in the future doesn't mean that markets can price in the value of that to creating it nowadays. It's the same reason that markets don't pay people enough money to like go to college and get a degree. You need a huge government subsidy to get huge millions and millions and millions of people to go to colleges so that some of them will churn out wonderful world-changing products, wonderful world-changing cultural products. Markets undervalue innovation because one firm can't get all of the benefits of an innovation. Let's say that like, so Elon Musk's firm, I think it's like, what is it? OpenAI or whatever. Am I correct? They aren't going to be able to capture the full value of artificial intelligence. They just can't. You can't patent it. You can't patent all the knowledge of it. Even if markets were perfect, even if people were perfect, like frictionless little spheres that you could pop in and out, you literally could not have one firm get all of the value of inventing something. Um, and that's kind of outside the topic of this, but this is what we call a positive externality. Innovation is a huge positive externality because the firm that does not reap all the benefits of that innovation, so they undervalue innovation. If you are, like, even as a neoclassical, if you want to maximize the socially beneficial level of innovation, meaning making new products, automating new areas, you have to invest in it. I think that stuff like that gets you at minimum to like social democracy. You need, at the bare minimum, huge subsidies for companies to innovate as much as possible. You need huge subsidies for people to get as educated as possible. Najwin says you can patent some stuff. Well, what I'm trying to say is that even patents can't capture the full value of something. Let's imagine that IBM patented all of their early computers. The mere fact that they had invented them, the mere fact that they were providing these services and that others would be inspired by them would create value that IBM could not capture. That's like a very minute example, but we see this over and over and over and over and over again. Machina, who started off this tangent in the first place, says, I think something important to note is that incremental increases in parameter count were what gave way to recent explosions in natural language processing ability. The idea behind this is having functions that capture more complex relationships between data. I'm not sure I understand the statement beyond that the more complex relationships between data are a simple way of getting that was just throwing more data at the problem, right? And so the argument I'm giving is that I'm sure that it's possible to innovate better artificial intelligences, even given a constant level of data, right? But to do it quickly and efficiently and cheaply, you got to do it with huge amounts of data. And one of the simplest ways we can do that is just make more data. Humans are some of the best computers that we have. And without even talking about transhumanism and the potential for integrating humans and intelligence and integrating humans and electronic equipment, right? Without even talking about stuff like that, with even just staying on like purely humanist level, humans are really fucking good computers, and it's a waste. Every day, millions of people's brains are wasted because they are left in poverty, they are left uneducated, they are left in economies that don't employ them. Every unemployed person is a supercomputer that we're leaving to waste. Every unemployed person is a potential inventor that we're leaving to waste.